and Mayor City Warren, New Massachusetts. But nearly 20 mayors signed on to and released a letter earlier today sent to Governor Romney. This is on the issue of his tax returns or the lack thereof. I'm going to read from this letter. You may or may not have seen it. Transparency leads to trust. Public release of your tax returns, Governor Romney, is the only way the American people can know they can trust your judgment, perspective, and motivations. The American people have waited long enough and heard enough excuses about why you refuse to disclose fully multiple years of your tax returns. It's time to come clean, Governor Romney. Your own father set a precedent for presidential candidates of both parties when he said public release of several years of tax returns was necessary, explaining that, quote, 1 year could be a fluke, perhaps done for show. President Obama has released 12 years of tax returns. John Kerry released 20 years' worth, and Bob Dole released 30 years of tax returns. Without releasing additional tax returns, you could go down as one of the most secretive presidential nominees in modern history. Even Richard Nixon released more years of tax returns than you. Remember when you auditioned to be John Kane's vice presidential pick? You gladly handed over 23 years of tax returns. And now as you audition for the American people for president, you think that only 1 full year is good enough. Well, it isn't. We know you have a Swiss bank account. We know that you have continued holdings in offshore tax havens like Bermuda and the Cayman Islands. And we know you've already paid a significantly lower tax rate than most middle-class families. The question is, why? What else are you trying to hide? Were you trying to avoid paying your fair share? Is there shifty accounting in the rest of your tax returns that would shock the conscience of the American people? You're running for the highest office in the greatest country on earth. Don't you think the American people need to know the truth once and for all? Well, we do. Transparency is the only way the American people can trust that their president is truly on their side. It's time to release your tax returns, Governor Romney.